Hello there my lovely, Siren Slabber here, and we're back from the Shire and my firm, and yeah, seems like RuneScape's only just gone and got herself an update in it. So here we go then people, Siren Slabber here. Well, RuneScape's been updated this Monday, so good times. The new boss is here, Araxxor is here, yay! So we can go kill spiders. Don't know how I feel about spiders. Either way, there's some other stuff coming along with it, but I'm sure pretty much every single person knows by this point that Araxxor is the new boss. And he's basically a giant big fuck off spider. The way to get to him, apparently, his lair is just south of Port Phasmatis. And you go in there, and you can start either a non-instance or an instance version of the battle. It's a boss fight where you can have 1 or 2 people inside, I'm pretty sure. If you go in on your own, then the difficulty is kind of geared towards one person. But with a nice bit of a twist, every single day supposedly, or at least every so often, the tactics inside the lair change. Like the way the actual monster acts and kind of uses his moves and stuff. So he changes things up quite often to make him quite a bit more difficult to fight because, well, you need to learn everything. Like, on top of that, if you successfully kill him, let's say, it's the weekend, you just wake up, it's like, what, 10 o'clock or something, you decide, fuck it, I'm going to jump on RuneScape, I'm going to stab a spider in the face, game on. Well, let's say you do that and you actually successfully kill Araxxor. Happy days, you just killed, like, the brand new boss, nice and high level, good on you. But, to make things a little bit difficult and to change things up, which I think is actually pretty cool in and of itself, is the fact that once you successfully kill him, for the rest of that day until 1 o'clock in the morning BST, which is British Summer Time, so +1 GMT if that helps. Until that point, Araxxor's stats and that how hard he hits bumps up a little bit. So let's say throughout the first fight you go against him, his average hit is, let's say, 2000 or 200 if you're on whatever it's called, legacy mode. Yeah, that. So let's say his average hit is 200, yeah? That's fair enough, pretty good. But let's say you kill him successfully, well, from now on, his basic hits will be like 250. And it gradually raises more and more throughout the entire day. And then eventually resets at 1 AM BST. So, yeah. All in all, I think that's pretty good, because, I mean, you can get the new high-level, level 90 two-handed weapons. And actually, to do these weapons, you do need to make them, actually, from drops you get off the mob. You take pieces of the boss and you can kind of combine them together to create these new weapons. So the weapons themselves, melee wise, is a Noxious Scythe, which is pretty nifty. I want to see that. I reckon that'll look beast. Then there's a Noxious Longbow and a Noxious Staff. So these are the level 90 two-handers, and they do look pretty beefy. So yeah, here it says you'll put them together by combining a spider's leg plus 1 of 3 arachnid body parts received as rare drops. So obviously the parts are going to be stupidly rare, basically. Well, you'd expect that, let's be honest. It's level 90 two-hander. You don't exactly want it to be common. Additionally, there is a little spider pet as well, so you can get a spider pet. And once you have it, you can unlock new versions of the spider as well, by completing achievements whilst fighting the boss. To do this, you can click on the cocoon corpse outside Araxxor's lair to find out more. I'm not sure what that actually means. I assume it's talking about different versions of the pet. Unless it's actually different versions of the boss. I mean, they're both spiders. So, I assume it's the pet. So, yeah. Either way, that's not the only update coming along today. There's also the Twitch integration. So with the release of Araxxor, they've integrated Twitch streaming into the RuneScape interface. With the click of a button, you can now broadcast RuneScape experience on twitch.tv. So there we go. First, you need a Twitch account to set one up. If you haven't already, log into it via the Twitch tab in the community interface inside RuneScape. And basically click go and you're done. And it'll start live streaming. So there we go. That's not bad. Other things they've got, you've got a lobby refresh. So the RuneScape lobby is going to receive a fresh lick of paint. I'm sure you've already noticed this if you've just simply logged into the game. But basically, you'll have a new welcome screen, and they've kind of made it all pretty and stuff. Yeah, pretty much it. So RuneFest tickets are additionally on sale at the moment. You can get them in-game by using bonds, or you can visit this website here and go ahead and purchase them. So if you're interested in going to RuneFest, you can do that. The female replica Void Knight armor has been updated in accordance with community suggestions, and bonds are now kept in a dedicated inventory accessible via the bonds icon at the bottom of the backpack interface. So, if you thought that wasn't enough, there's also a box on the patch notes. Hey! So, without further ado, let's get into this end. So, starting off with the graphical wise, like I just said, the female replica Void Knight armor has been updated to match the community's graphical improvement suggestions. An animating issue with Retro and Void Knight and Elite Void Knight armor has been fixed. Moving on to miscellaneous, 3 new songs from the One PSN Note quest have been added to the game: the Abbey Requiem Rehearsal and There's Been a Murder. The tooltips over the health and prayer icons have been disabled in Legacy mode to avoid obscuring the values when quick switching prayers. And here we go into a bunch of Legacy fixes. The healing hit mark has been recolored from pink to purple to better represent how it looked before. The Berserk ability effect has been updated to clear when changing between Legacy and EOC. Lend items now use the relevant spec attack correctly. Spec attack energy now restores correctly within certain areas in Legacy mode. The Sunshine ability now requires wielding a magical weapon. Auto Retaliate now does not make the player retaliate in Revolution when it is toggled off with a weapon in hand. Players are now able to click out of their channeled abilities. Made Revolution begin firing abilities faster to prevent Revolution from not starting for a couple of rounds of combat. Shadow spells now correctly reduce damage dealt from their target. The auto setup action bar option has been updated to select a better DPS setup. The Bloodburst and Blood Barrage spells have been altered so they do not increase the player's spec attack energy in Legacy mode. Helmets will now apply the hybrid nerf to accuracy as expected. God Swords can now have their passive effects toggled on again when used in the appropriate God Wars boss order. Void Knight armor has had its set effects rebalanced. When changing it to Legacy mode, the combat XP options will be set to the non-defensive options to prevent players gaining unwanted defense XP. Bash now heals the correct amount of life points. The Bash ability now correctly activates when using a stun ability. The spec attack bar no longer drains it if the target is too far away. The enhanced Excalibur spec attack no longer persists in duels where the option is disabled. The Ancient Mace spec attack now correctly drains prayer again. And last but not least, we have the engine fixes. So when logging in with Facebook or Google+, the authenticator no longer requests that you re-enter the code when the Remember for 30 days option is selected. Some changes have been made to enable Twitch TV integration. The lobby will now calculate load correctly. And the HTML5 engine fixes, a fix has been applied for login issue with Chrome version 36. So yeah, a few things then. So all in all, updates, new Mega Boss, level 90 weapons. Twitch has been added in-game, so you can now live stream nice and easily, which I'm sure many of you are probably going to be jumping to the leap that Salmon may actually be streaming soon. I can't deny the possibility, it might just happen. And last but not least, lobby's been updated a bit, plus, well, you know, bollocks on the patch notes. I'm not going to cover them again, come on now. So there we go, I think that's pretty much everything. Don't think there's any more news. So with that said, there's meant to be a live stream tonight for Araxxor, actually. I forgot about that. So it's going to be tonight, 6 PM BST, that's British Summertime, or GMT +1. So you can work out whatever is in your time zone from that, I would have thought. So yeah, there we go. So that's going to be live streaming on the official RuneScape webpage, so if you want to have a little gander at that, you can find it there. Just go to the RuneScape Twitch channel. And yeah, with that said, if I get some time later on, maybe I might just live stream sometime. I'll have to test her out to see how the Twitch integration stuff works. Other than that, yeah, could be Salmon might actually start to stream a little bit. Either way, people, I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, with that said, you've now all been informed. So until next time, I will catch you all later. Have a good one.